coming. Speaking of which, Michael is holding on the line right now. Michael, I'm glad you called. You actually were on my mind this weekend. What do you have to say this morning?
I don't understand why you always call me a Dem. Can you point out one specific left-wing stance I've ever stated on your show? You can't.
Well, Michael, there are plenty.
Wait, I forgot. If you're not part of the cult, therefore you're a Democrat. Is that how it works?
No, Michael, it's not how it works. It's some of the things that you have said on this program that have been blatant lies, blatantly unfair to President Trump. I understand where it comes from. I understand.
If you're against Trump, you must be a Dem.
No, when you're unfair to President Trump, you are of that right. ilk. You act just like the other side. If you claim to be a Republican, if you claim to be a conservative, if you claim to be an American, I mean, I remember when President Trump was shot at, not once did you call this program condemning it. You couldn't even bring yourself to do that. So it's this idea, Michael, it's this idea, Michael. It's the notion of peeing on somebody's feet and tell me it's raining. That's kind of what you brought. That's what you brought to the program. There's no common ground because you have a singular focus of never ever saying a kind word or giving President Trump credit for the things that he does correctly. Now, I don't mind debating the issues, but you wanted an example of what you've done, and you're very consistent being Ilhan Omar about it, being Jasmine Crockett about it, being you're just like the other side. So if you are not one of them, if you are not
a Jew, I just love Ilhan Omar. You're so right, Chris.
No, I didn't say that. What I said was you have conducted yourself in a manner that is consistent with them. These individuals who hate this country, who also hate President Trump as much as you do. And again,
can I compliment President Trump?
Sure.
I thought he showed great restraint yesterday by not boasting about his ballroom. That was very classy of him. He showed terrific restraint and self-awareness. Otherwise, his performance yesterday was so heartwarming, so touching. He brought the country together. He would never make it all about himself. Really was a class act. Ain't that right, Chris?
Well, I'll let the folks be the judge. Folks, have a listen.
And so on that terrible day, September 10th, 2025, our greatest evangelist for American liberty became immortal. He's a martyr now for American freedom. I know I speak for everyone here today when I say that none of us will ever forget Charlie Kirk, and neither now will history.
So I'll let the folks decide. Michael, look, I said I thought about you over the weekend, and I did. One of the individuals I would struggle praying for, and you were there, because it's a struggle for somebody like me to hear a guy like you who was dedicated to delivering pain and dedicated to division and dedicated to undermining what it is, undermining this country, Western civilization, whatever conservatives happen to value most. And there's a lot of things that we value. And you seem to be diametrically opposed to all of it. And I wondered to myself, as I was contemplating the likes of Barack Obama, Ilhan Omar, and Jasmine Crockett, how do you pray for somebody who is constantly trying to bring pain and division and never is an honest broker, never can have an honest conversation with you? And the best I could come up with, because again, I'm a failed human being myself. The best I could come up with is to pray that somehow in your life something happens, and praise God, it's nothing that's catastrophic, that triggers something in you that says maybe your approach hasn't been the greatest. Maybe where you look in the mirror and you go, maybe I should try talking with somebody in good faith instead of lying about who I am, lying about what I want to talk about. Just be honest. Have an honest conversation. And so I prayed for that you would find some sort of honesty, some sort of a grounding of truth in your life. So it's about the best I could do. Again, I'm a failed human being myself. So I'll pray for you, Michael. And as I know my fellow conservatives and believers will. Mark, welcome to the Salcedo Show. What do you say?